All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're diving deep into the Indian car market. The sales data from 2025 is officially in. And honestly, looking ahead to 2026, it tells a really fascinating and kind of surprising story about what we're all looking for when we buy a new car.
Okay, first up, let's just set the scene with this one number, 55.3%. Get this, that was the record-breaking market share for SUVs in 2025. Yeah, from the little compact ones to the big rugged off-roaders, the SUV is the undisputed king of the Indian road. It's what everyone seems to want.
And that brings us to the big puzzle, right? The central mystery of this whole story. If more than half the cars being sold are SUVs, how on earth did the #1 top-selling car of the entire year end up being a classic sedan? I mean, it seems to defy all logic, so let's break it down.
So let's start by pulling back the curtain and unmasking this surprise champion, the one that completely bucked the biggest trend in the entire industry. And there you have it. The best-selling car in India for 2025 was the Maruti Suzuki Dzire. Yep, this compact sedan, a car we've all seen on our roads for years, somehow managed to climb back up and snatch the crown right in the middle of the age of the SUV.
And the scale of this win is just staggering. Think about it. Maruti pushed out over 2.14 lakh units. That's 214,000 of these cars in 2025 alone. So the big question is, how did they pull this off?
Well, the Dzire's success really was a perfect storm of getting everything right. For starters, the new 4th-gen model was a total game-changer. It added those premium features everyone expects now, like a sunroof and a 360-degree camera. It also tackled that big safety concern head-on with a strong 5-star rating. And of course, it delivered absolutely incredible mileage, especially that CNG option. On top of all that, its reliability is just bulletproof, which is why it's the absolute backbone of the taxi industry. It just ticked every single box you could think of.
Okay, so we know why the Dzire won, but where does that win fit into the bigger picture? Let's zoom out and look at the full leaderboard, the top 10 cars that Indians are actually buying right now.
I mean, just look at this list. Maruti's dominance is, wow. It's just off the charts, with a massive 6 out of the top 10 spots. What's really interesting, though, is the variety here. Despite that whole SUV boom, you still see sedans, hatchbacks, and even an MPV holding their own in the top ranks.
Now, coming in hot at number 2, right behind the Dzire, is the undisputed king of the SUVs, the Hyundai Creta. With over 2 lakh units sold, it's still the go-to, the default choice for anyone wanting that premium SUV experience. But here's the kicker. Even as the top-selling SUV, it still couldn't quite catch the sedan at number 1.
And this is where it gets really interesting because you can see two totally different but equally powerful strategies from our Indian manufacturers. On one hand, you have Tata, who brilliantly branded the Nexon as the safest Indian car, using that 5-star rating to win over buyers. And on the other hand, you've got Mahindra's Scorpio, the big daddy of SUVs, which just perfectly taps into that desire for pure road presence, helping drive Mahindra all the way to the number 2 manufacturer spot.
So that's the story of 2025. But, the market is shifting under our feet as we speak. So what's next? What are the big trends that are going to define what we're all driving in 2026 and beyond?
We're seeing 3 huge trends that you absolutely need to have on your radar. First, what I'm calling the SUVization of everything. Second, we might finally be at the EV tipping point. And third, the quiet but incredibly powerful resurgence of Toyota.
So what in the world is SUVization? Well, it's this really fascinating trend where even small hatchbacks are getting an SUV-style makeover. They're getting higher ground clearance, that bold, rugged styling, and a more commanding view of the road. The Tata Punch and the Maruti Frox, both on our top 10 list, by the way, are the perfect examples. They've basically created a brand new micro SUV category. And believe me, it is the fastest growing segment in the country right now.
Next up, the EV tipping point. Now, Tata has been leading the charge so far for sure, but 2026 is expected to be the year of the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara, and this is a huge deal. Why? Because when the #1 market leader with the biggest service network in the country finally jumps into the EV space in a big way, it could literally revolutionize the market just like the Maruti 800 did for petrol cars all those decades ago.
And finally, do not sleep on Toyota. They've posted an incredible 33% year-on-year growth, and they've done it in a really smart way. They're using their partnership with Maruti for the high-volume models, while at the same time absolutely dominating that profitable premium MPV space with beasts like the Innova Hycross.
Okay, so all this data is great, but let's make it actually useful for you. With all these different trends and options out there, how do you pick the right car for you? Let's break it down.
Listen, forget just the price tag on the windshield for a second. You've got to think about the total cost of ownership. As you can see here, a petrol car is the cheapest to buy up front, but its running cost is the highest. CNG will set you back about a lot more initially, but it basically cuts your fuel bill in half. And EVs? Well, they have the highest initial cost, no doubt, but their running and maintenance costs are the lowest by far, making them incredibly cheap to run every kilometer.
So let's just translate that into some simple choices. Which one of these sounds like you? If you're the budget urbanite mostly doing short city drives, just stick with petrol. It makes the most sense financially. If you're a commuter driving maybe 30 to 80 kilometers a day, CNG is your sweet spot. If you're a tech-savvy saver with a long daily run and you can charge at home, an EV is going to save you a fortune in the long run. And finally, if you're a road tripper, someone who loves getting away to remote places, the reliability and just sheer availability of petrol, or maybe a hybrid, is still your best.
And that's where we are right now. The Indian car buyer is juggling all these things. The upfront cost, the running cost, safety ratings, cool tech features. The market has never been more competitive or more diverse. So the real question for 2026 isn't just which car will be number one, it's when you walk into that showroom, what are you going to value most?